Sup, peoples? So, if you are new here, I will give you the quick spiel. Basically, this is the third vlog in my Project Eros writing vlog series where I write my contemporary romance novel codenamed Project Eros. I have just started draft 3 and currently editing chapter 14. Okay, that's out of the way. We are in my bathroom because I need to wash my face. I had a lot of gay face paint on, okay? I filmed my LGBTQ plus representation video today and my 7 books to read in Pride Month video. I'll link them above if you're interested. And I had rainbows on my cheeks for those. Lots of fun, very easy to wipe off, but they sort of left a residue and I just want to wash my face. Also, while I was filming that video, I accidentally got some face paint on my shirt, so that's been soaking. And now it's time to clean. I also edited my whole Heartstopper video today. I'll link that up above as well. It's been a very gay month. I mean, it is June after all. Well, it's not June. By the time this video is going out, it's June. But right now, it's like the tail end of May. There we go. Now there's sort of a sink in it. But yeah, I'm gonna put this somewhere else so it doesn't get very wet. Hopefully it still picks up audio. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna adjust this angle. I'm sorry, this is so chaotic. Here we go. So basically, I've been productive today, but not productive in writing. I didn't write yesterday, and I haven't written yet today. But I think that's okay because I'm actually ahead of schedule on what I'm supposed to do. So today I need to finish chapter 14, as well as start chapter 15, and I feel optimistic that I may be actually able to get both chapters done today, even though I've given myself 3 days per chapter. Is this just the most flattering thing you've ever seen? It looks great, right? It's beautiful. I know this is going to be like my June Pride vlog. We're actually starting in May because I just wanted to pick up where I left off. Always have a vlog going at all times because I never know when something interesting is going to happen in my writing. And since the whole point is sort of filming the entire progress, even the stuff that's not interesting, it just sort of made sense. Okay, my face is no longer rainbow and there's no longer rainbow residue. Honestly, sort of sad about that. Like, the rainbow was fun. I got these little sticks on Amazon that just like rainbow it for you, and they were pretty cool. Now, to see if my shirt has survived, I of course wore a white shirt my first time with rainbow face paint on. Hey, okay, it pretty much all soaked out. There's like the tiniest stain here, where I think it was like the purple or something, but pretty much the rest of it soaked out. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this now, though. Like, how do I get the soap out of it? That sounds like a silly question. I've never actually hand washed something before. I said my bathroom, but what I meant was my parents' bathroom, okay? Let's be honest here. I do not have my own house. I don't even have my own bedroom. Not that I'm complaining. I don't mind sharing with my sister. Oh, there's a lot of soap in this. Okay. I'm just gonna wait until my mom gets home in case I do something wrong. She hand washes stuff a lot. It's because the stain hasn't fully come out yet. Totally. It's totally because of that. Not out of incompetence. I am an adult. I just don't do it very often. There's nothing wrong with being 19 and living in your parents' house. Granted, I am closer to 20 than 19 now. I'm trying to do this with soapy hands. There we go. But you know, it's still young. I have plenty of time to be self-sufficient in the future. I should just savor this teenagedom while it lasts. This is my last year as a teenager. There's so many things I thought I'd have done by now. got in a car, dyed my hair, gone to a party. No, okay, let's be honest, I didn't think I was gonna do that one, I just thought I was supposed to. I don't know, I'm sort of like, maybe I'm a boring teenager, but guess it means I'll make a good adult. I spent my teenage years deciding that I wanted to be a writer and spending a lot of time on the internet, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Okay, but this is a writing vlog. I'm gonna let that shirt soak. I'm gonna go get a snack, and then we're gonna write together. I'm like a weird health food person now. Like, not intentionally, it's just yummy. Like, for lunch every day now, I eat this big salad. I'm not a teenager, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm actually 47. Welcome to my kitchen. Okay, I'm gonna turn on another light because it's so grainy. More light, okay. Less grainy, but not grainy. Also, if you can hear a little pitter-pattering, that's my dog. That's Teasley. Speaking of Teasley, it was just her, I forgot to lotion my face, it's fine. It was just her 9th birthday, I think. She's 63 now in dog years. Teasley, come here, come here. This is my angel. My sun, my moon, my stars, my most perfect little baby. She's 63 years old now, in dog years. Still a baby to me. And I got her a new toy for her birthday. Where's Mr. Hedgehog? You gonna go find Mr. Hedgehog? There you go. Anyway, she hates when we trim her nails, so they clickety-clack on the floor. But, snack. I already know what I want to eat. I told you I was a health food person. When I say cereal, I mean European-style gluten-free oat muesli. I've turned boring in my old age. Or maybe I always was boring. Right, so writing time. The way that this draft works, this is draft 3. Basically, I had written about 20 chapters. I think I had written specifically 19. So 19 chapters in draft 1. Then draft 2, I went through to fix sort of like the pacing issue. Then I was like, great, that's done. But then I ended up doing draft 3 because I realized during draft 2 that I'd actually stopped one pacing issue and created another one. So now I am maybe a fourth of the way through draft 3, making good progress. I'm currently editing chapter 14. There's going to be, I think, 46 total. And maybe a little bit more than a fourth of the way through then. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with my progress so far. And basically what I've been doing for draft 3 is I'll take what I'd already written and I'm either restructuring it, rewriting it, or just editing it. So like, for example, in this chapter, there's one part, which is just what had happened in chapter 7 of draft 1 that I moved into draft 3's chapter 14. And then, maybe not chapter 7, but you get the point. And then there's also a portion of it that is new and that I have to write from scratch. So I edited the part that I was going to use from before, and now I'm half editing, half rewriting the scene that I'm currently in which I'm introducing some new plot stuff that wasn't in there before. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to get to work on that. I'm hoping to do chapter 14 and potentially chapter 15 today, at least part of chapter 15. But some of my writing time also needs to go to a newsletter article that I'm working on for a friend of mine. It's not like an actual newsletter, it's just like a thing that we do together. But technically the due date was yesterday, but I wrote a different one. Like, I wrote multiple, so I'm one day overdue, so I need to get it done today. It's a book review. If you ever read the book reviews that I post on my channel, they're repurposed from the book reviews that I write for this little newsletter with my friend. I'm gonna get to writing because, as I said, I don't have as much writing time as I'd like. Oh yeah, and I have to write a short story today. Although that's not like super time sensitive, I can do that anytime during the week as well, so long as it's not like on a Friday. Although I've done that twice as well. I know they go out on Fridays, but speaking of which, if you're new here, I recently launched a Ko-fi, and you can find the short stories that I post for free every Friday in the link in description. Every couple months, honestly, I like to just randomly decide that I'm going to go through and purge my entire closet, and then not actually purge it, but I do go through and refold everything, and then nothing changes except my closet looks organized for a day. And today's one of those days. Last night I started, and I just piled it all on a chair because I didn't finish. But today we're starting not before bed, we're starting in the morning. So I'm hoping to actually get it done. And I just thought that while I folded, I would talk to you about some stuff because it's actually been a little while since I filmed for this. And a good amount has happened that I should have been vlogging but wasn't. So today my bed will be my canvas for this horrifying art that I'm creating. This one doesn't really fold, so we're just gonna put that over there. So, okay, where do I start? I guess I just start with clothes. Basically, it is now June 5th. The last clip of this was from sometime in May, and so much has happened in that time. Like, I don't even know where to start. Especially because most of it is stuff that I don't ever talk about on my channel. So basically, I'm not gonna get into major details, but a friend of mine did something really not cool, which affected a lot of friends of mine, and we've just sort of been like dealing with the fallout of that. I'm not gonna get into details because, you know, I like to keep some parts of my life just my life. But I honestly was so busy with that I didn't write for like a full week, and I was like sort of emotionally exhausted. I'm still a little bit emotionally exhausted. I'm usually fine, but then when remnants of it pop up, I'm just like, I don't have the energy for this. So that happened, and I stopped being a productive person. And then June began, and June so far has been off to a better start. You know, the one cool thing about my friend being not a cool friend was that now my other friends and I are all a lot closer. But it was still annoying. So that happened. And now we are doing what? Sorry, I'm so scatterbrained. Yes, we are organizing clothes and writing and June and all the other stuff that's been happening. So sort of aside from that personal life bit, my writing and my reading, they've gotten back on track. So for this vlog, I wanted to read and talk about some contemporary romances. I wanted to spend June reading contemporary romances and talking about them because I'm writing contemporary romance. It felt like, you know, a summer of writing romance and reading romance. And so the first thing that I read was I Wish You All the Best, which is an LGBTQ+ romance. I planned to vlog that, but I read it in literally 3 days, and I didn't pick up my camera once. I just devoured this entire book. I will probably do like a reading wrap-up at some point, but for now, I'll just give you my thoughts. I gave it, I think, 3 stars. I enjoyed the book, and I thought that the characters were all really well thought out, and the relationships between them felt very like authentically complicated and messy, and I really appreciated that. The book is about a non-binary main character who gets kicked out of their house when they come out to their parents and has to move in with their estranged sister who they haven't talked to in like a decade. They end up going to a new school, and there they meet this person, and you know, just sparks fly. Not right away. Anyway, but I did enjoy this book. I don't know if I'm ever gonna reread it. Usually like a 5-star book to me has to be something that like is really gonna stick with me forever and that maybe I'll like reread and it's gonna become like a classic that I reference all the time. This was just like a very enjoyable, well-written book that I really appreciate the complexity of the relationships in, and how it wasn't like their relationship with their parents didn't just cease even after they were kicked out of their house. Like, it was still complex and messy, and they had conflicting emotions about it. And I really appreciated the way that they were able to like process all of this. And I would definitely suggest this book. Then I went right from reading that to reading the new book that I just got. I started this one last night, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I've heard about this author and this book so many times, and I'm gonna be totally honest. The reason that I picked it up is just because it's a romance about writers, and I thought that it sounded really interesting. I liked the idea that the main character is like a romance author, and that part of the book gets to explore how romance is sort of looked down on as a genre, and like mild spoilers, but I really liked this bit. It was the last bit I read. And they're talking about how her books are classified as women's fiction, and the other character says that he doesn't see why there needs to be a full section just for women's fiction. And she says, yeah, well, you're not the only one who doesn't understand it. I know how to tell a story, Gus, and I know how to string a sentence together. If you swapped out all my Jessicas for Johns, do you know what you'd get? Fiction. Just fiction. Ready and willing to be read by anyone. But somehow, by being a woman who writes about women, I've eliminated half the Earth's population from my potential readers. And you know what? I don't feel ashamed of that. I feel pissed. That people like you will assume my books couldn't possibly be worth your time, while meanwhile you could chart on live TV and the New York Times would praise your bold display of humanity. And I appreciated that. I will be totally honest, I used to sort of look down on romance. I had only really read love triangles in YA fiction because I was like a teenager, and they weren't for me, and I had just assumed, blanket statement, that that's what all romance had to be like. But then when I got older and I started to see romance and read romance, I realized that all kinds of writing are really difficult, and that just because one of them is maybe like more widely marketable, and like I feel like you hear about these like romance authors and you just assume they're doing it just for the money, and like sort of realize that that's just like what I'd been fed by society subconsciously, and not my own actual opinion. Like, I'm now writing a contemporary romance novel, and you know what? It's really hard. Romance isn't just this easy genre to pick up and write that's like super I mean, obviously you know I'm writing a contemporary romance novel, that's the point of this vlog, but like, I don't know, I just appreciated an author who's probably been treated the way that this main character has, talking about it through a book. And I only started last night, so I'm not super far through. I'm only read like this much. I'm just about to start chapter 8. But I don't know, I appreciate that about it, and I like the characters so far. It's very dramatic. Like, these characters have suffered a lot. At least one of them has so far. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts of this book. So that's what I've been reading. Wanted to read some contemporary romance while I wrote a contemporary romance. The writing has been interesting. So I don't remember exactly where we left off. Well, whatever the case, the chapter that I was working on in the last clip, I did finish, and I'm happy with. And now I'm working on chapter 16. I only just started working on chapter 16 last night though. I was supposed to start on it like a week ago, 2 weeks. But like I said, I've just been like so busy with all this other stuff going on, and sort of intimidated by this chapter because most of this draft has just been me rewriting or editing things, but this bit is actually, I have to draft it from scratch. So I was a little bit scared to do it. However, I started it last night. I didn't even write a full page, but you know, starting it is the hardest part. So I'm hoping to make some more progress tonight. However, my plans of being a productive writer this week have had like a little bit of a wrench thrown into them because my hands have been weird. I think because I type for work, I type for all my hobbies, be it YouTube, writing, Instagram, my social life is primarily online and I type for that. It's like pretty much everything in my life that isn't like my family I'm typing for. And I've been having like here on my thumb has been like throbbing in the morning and in the night. And it started on this hand, and now it's like very subtly also spread to this hand in the same spot. And that's usually where I'll get writing cramps, but I've never gotten these long-term ones that pop up at certain times in the day. And I don't know if that means I shouldn't be typing, but I sort of have to be for work. So I'm just sort of trying to be like, hopefully this goes away soon, which probably isn't the best thing for my hands. Like, I don't want to push it because, you know, these are my money makers. But I don't want to not do it either. I think that's pretty much it. That's the update. Oh wait, no, it's not. Happy Pride Month. This is the Pride vlog, and I haven't even said Happy Pride Month. My mom and sister are going to a wedding thing. I can't remember if it's a wedding or if it's a vow renewal for my cousin. And it's like a 5-hour drive, so I'm not going because I get car sick, and I've never actually driven somewhere that far away that I can remember, besides like once when I was like 6, and I didn't get car sick back then. But nowadays I get pretty car sick, so I opted to not do that. Also, somebody needs to be here to take care of all of our animals because my dad works weekends, so he's going to be gone Saturday and Sunday. So I'm gonna stay here, hold down the fort. I was thinking it would just be like the perfect opportunity to be super productive at writing. Catch up on all of those chapters that I meant to do but didn't end up doing. And maybe my girlfriend can come over and we can like watch a movie or something. I've been wanting to get her into Star Wars because like she hasn't even watched them, I don't think. And as a major Star Wars nerd, that is painful for me. So the plan is potentially to force her to watch Star Wars with me this weekend. But she also works weekends, so it will be depending on whether she's able to spend some time or if she's working the whole weekend. We shall see. Fingers crossed that I can force her to watch Star Wars. See, don't I sound so nice? Good morning. It is currently 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, June 8th. As promised, it is now Saturday, and I'm checking back in. I'm tired. My whole family, well, my dad's at work, but he'll be back later, and my mom and sister are at my cousin's vow renewal. And I woke up this morning at like, I don't know, 8:30 to my sister FaceTiming me. Like, my dad was like, I'm gonna go to work. And I was like, okay. And then I rolled over to go back to bed. And then I heard my sister FaceTiming me. So I rolled out of bed and I FaceTimed with her in my PJs. And I haven't really woken up since then. I'm so sleepy. But I have my day blocked out hour by hour today for maximum productivity. So I need to suck it up and get to it. I'm sure I'll feel better once I've started things going. Right now is 9 to 11 a.m. Chapter 16 plus vlog. I'm vlogging. Already doing things. Please ignore the slight blue glare in my glasses. I need them for the screen. And now I need to write the book. I need to write the entirety of chapter 16 from scratch, pretty much. I started it a couple days ago, but I've just like been not very, like, I keep working late, so then I don't have time to write. Productivity. Oh, real quick before I do that, book update. I'm now a little bit more than halfway through Beach Read. I'm really enjoying it. I just like both the characters a lot. I think it's maybe, like, everything bad that can have happened to a person has happened to these people. I am enjoying Beach Read so far. I'm hoping to finish it soon, but I just haven't really had time to read over the last day or two. I mean, I started the book like 4 days ago at most, probably, so it's not like it's been like, I haven't read it in a long time. It's like I read like half of it in 2 days. So hopefully I will be able to finish it at some point over the weekend or Monday, I don't know. And then I guess I'll buy another romance novel, maybe. But now I gotta write my romance. Beach read does make me feel better though, because like I Wish You All the Best, and it was like, it's this little book, and I was like, oh no, my book's gonna be like twice as long as this. But beach read is like a beefy volume. Not like actually, like not like Gideon the Ninth sized, but fairly large book. And that makes me feel a little better, because mine is leaning towards over 100,000 words, maybe like 140,000 words. And I felt like that was long for a romance. I feel like I heard the industry average is 90,000 words, and that was a little bit worrying to me. But I'm not gonna like remove something from my story that needs to be in my story. You know, I'm not gonna cut it down just to fit an industry average. Maybe I should. Maybe that would make it better for publishers. But I'm not gonna mess with my story that way. If it comes to it, I would rather publish my story myself than have a publisher publish a story that isn't actually my story. I say that right now in a very privileged position of not knowing whether publishers will reject it or not. But, you know, I'd like to think that sentiment will stay true no matter what stage of the writing process I am on. Because I only ever want stories that I am proud of going out into the world. And I'm very proud of certain elements of this that make it long. For now, though, it's now 9:43, and I had only in my calendar time blocked out between 9 and 11 for me to write, because my girlfriend's coming over around 11. We're going to watch The Acolyte together. I'm so excited. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should if you don't already, I'll put the tag somewhere. I posted about The Bad Batch, like, nonstop. I still do. It's rare that you go on my stories and there isn't someone's art of Tech, because he's the best character ever and I will love him forever, and hashtag Tech lives because I'm in denial, so just let me keep my denial. But yeah, she's coming over at 11. I'm going to show her first Star Wars, and, well, actually she may have watched some stuff, but I think she found it boring. But I'm hoping The Acolyte will be a good way for her to get into it, because from what I've heard so far, the plot doesn't really require any prior Star Wars knowledge. You can just sort of watch The Acolyte. Plus, I want to watch it. It looks cool, and it's a Star Wars show, and I watch all the Star Wars shows, whether I think they look cool or not. Looking at you, Book of Boba Fett. Anyway, I'm gonna get writing. I'm gonna eat my breakfast. This is like an hour and a half old. Yum. And I will get back to you very soon with an update. I'm gonna turn the camera off though, because I have like an hour, and if I don't just write, I won't get anything done. So, I will see you soon.
I can't believe that you came into my life. You made me feel again. Now it's my turn. You say you've always been a little bit shy, but I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it within, so go ahead and just spin for me. I want you to spin. Don't let the doubt in you win. I know you feel it within, so go ahead
And we are back. So, okay, I'm a really bad vlogger. I've been so bad. I finished this book like maybe 2 weeks ago, but I figured we would review it. It's now almost the end of June. This video is supposed to go out on Wednesday. It is currently Sunday. I haven't written for like a week. We're figuring things out. It's like, I love writing, but it's so hard to start. And the moment that you don't do it, you're just like, well, now I'm behind. And you just never do it again. That weekend was supposed to be so productive. I do like my new hair though, so that's cool. Anyway, review. So I'll give like a more detailed review of this potentially in a reading wrap-up video. I might start doing those over on Patreon. I'm considering launching a Patreon soonish. If you're interested, you could go check it out. Well, actually, it's not existing yet. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. I would love to make a Patreon, and one of the things I was going to do would be seasonal reading wrap-ups. But for now, we can just talk about this book. 2.5 stars. I'm sorry. I feel bad because I know that Emily Henry is super popular, and I did really think that this book was well written, and I really liked the characters, and I enjoyed about the front half a ton. I think that the characters were really well done. I think that the plot was interesting. I think that it's a cool concept of having them write these books in other people's genres. As a writer, I really appreciated all of the stuff that they said about writing, and especially the commentary on like the romance genre and how it's viewed. I really loved that. I thought it was super well done. But by about the middle to the end part, the characters are like not getting to know each other anymore. They're more like in a relationship, or sort of want to be in a relationship with each other. I just didn't find any of the romance romantic, I guess, was my problem. I tend to like really subtle things. I'm not the kind of person that finds big declarations of love really romantic. I'm more like when people like show that they like you versus tell you that they like you. Just personal preference. So I think the problem wasn't that this book was bad. I think it was just that it's not the kind of romance I'm into. I think that you would really like this book if you want your characters to run to each other in the rain and maybe dance in it to Sinead O'Connor. If you think that that sounds a little bit too much, this probably isn't the book for you. And that's why I sort of feel torn about it, because I really liked the writing and I really liked the characters, but the ending I like could barely get through for me. It was just too much. So that's why it gets 2.5 stars on my list. Good book, wrong person. Now, on the front of my own writing, it went similarly to this. I started writing chapter 18, which was daunting but exciting. I was like, I'm doing it. It was great for about the first half, towards like first 2/3, first half, you know? And then I realized that I did not want to write anymore because I was beginning to feel a little bit like this chapter feels so out of the blue. Like, it's important for a subplot, and I'm going to finish it, but I think there's a high likelihood it gets cut in draft 4. Yeah, I basically just wanted to come in, give you the book review I had promised, let you know that if you want more bookish content, I'm going to do book content every month on Patreon, starting in the new year. If that happens, if there's interest in that, Patreon is a step that maybe it could become my job, and then I could make better videos because I could edit them more. That's really like, I have the time to film them, but I do not have the time to edit them because one video takes like 5 hours of editing, which is a lot. It takes me like an hour to film it, and then it takes me like 5 to edit it, and I don't understand how that turned out that way. There's an hour of footage, and it turns into 5 hours of it. We just won't think about it. Anyway, that is what I've been up to. I have not filmed. I know I need to film, and I know I need to write, and I'm hoping to get back into the groove with that. The last couple weekends, I have just not been productive at all, and I think that the blame for that can go primarily to procrastination. I'm like the queen of productivity, but I'm also the king of procrastination. So it doesn't, they even out into this sort of like mediocre thing. It's like, I will always have schedules, but I will never follow them. I will always have 3-year plans for how to get everything done, but I'll make sure to mess them up at some point. And then I'll just spend all of that time replanning those 3 years. So productivity is going to be queen, and the king of procrastination needs to be dethroned. It's going to be productivity now. I have new hair. It's time for a new era. The era of productivity. I mean, look, even this is productive. It doesn't take nearly as long to wash. That wasn't why I did it. Why I did it was that I've been listening to a lot of Sinead O'Connor. I need to go be productive, and I will update you as to how that productivity goes as soon as I can. All right, so it is now the next day. Well, actually, no, it's the day after the next day. It's now Monday. No, wait, it's Tuesday. Oh my goodness, where is time? What is time? So it's Tuesday. I tried to write Sunday night. I was like, I'm actually going to do this. And then this thunderstorm started that meant that I had to turn my computer off because the power kept flickering. So I finished chapter 18 Monday night instead. I would have vlogged that, but like it was crunch time. I barely had time to get it done before dinner, and I just had to like rush and get it done. That's why there's not very much actual writing footage in my writing vlogs, because I tend to do it late at night when there's music blaring in my house, and like 1, copyright, 2, it's dark and the footage looks bad. So it's like, I just can't really vlog it very well right now, the way my schedule is set up, so I mostly just give you updates like this. But I did finish chapter 18. I'm struggling to understand if I'm fitting too much into it. My current worry with Project Eros is that I might end up cramming too much into the novel. With a comic, you can have these sort of like one-off tangent issues where really all that happens is you explore whatever thing you're interested in. And so long as you tie them into the main story, it doesn't feel as weird to have a one-off comic issue, in my opinion, as to have a one-off chapter in your novel. It's like your chapter has a set point of view. So when you veer into, like, for example, chapter 18 is through my main character Aaron's point of view, and it does relate to his relationship with his father, which is the subplot that I'm exploring. But I don't know if it feels too, like, random. Like, oh wow, that was just thrown in there and resolved in the same chapter. Whereas with a comic, I think that because you're used to flitting between different people's views, at least the way that I've seen them written and I write mine, it doesn't feel as weird if you have an issue that's just like, oh, and now we're with a new character exploring their thing and how they're going to tie into the story. Like, that fits, and I actually get excited to see that sort of thing. But with a novel, I think I'd be thrown off if we suddenly just start exploring someone else's backstory. This shot isn't very glamorous because I'm actually working right now. Well, I mean, I'm taking a short break to do this, but I need to go back and I need to edit this, like, now, because it's going out tomorrow, and it usually takes me like several hours, maybe like 3, 4, 5 to edit a vlog. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do that, but we're gonna make it work, you know? And if this doesn't come out the last Wednesday of June, then you'll know that I did not make it work. But it should come out the last Wednesday of June. But yeah, so I have to edit this vlog. Literally, I'm gonna finish filming this clip and then I'm gonna go edit it and see what footage I have, because at this point I've been filming for so long that I forget. It keeps unaligning. And my hand is really cramping. So thanks for enduring this crazy chaoticness. I was initially trying to plan this around Pride so it would fit with the Pride theme of my channel this month. It is not Pride themed at all. I was initially thinking I'd go to a Pride parade and vlog it, but I didn't end up going. Then I thought maybe I'd do something like at home, like, I don't know how dyeing my hair pink would be Pride themed, but I thought it would add a little bit of fun to an otherwise boring vlog. I didn't end up doing that. I still might. That might be in a later vlog, but I sort of want to dye this pink, but I don't know. I don't know, and I don't have time right now. So yeah, instead it ended up being sort of like reviewing romance books and writing romance and chaos, as usual. It's chaos. These vlogs are always chaos. Someday they'll be nice, but that day is not today. So thank you for sticking around, but I will see you in the next one. Probably in July, but potentially in August. Wait, no, there's a different thing coming out in July. I will see you in the next writing vlog in August. Yes, that is when the next one is happening. July, I think we're doing something book related. I will see you then. So, yes, I'm messing up my outro. I will see you on the next page. Till then.